All right, hey guys, this is Brandon McCaskill. This is the Safari Arie Home Show. It's been a couple of months since we've spoken to Arie. He's back
Nice.
home in Belize, and so we're just gonna get an update how things been going on your farm, how life has been, and let's ask him if he's missed being out on the road.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I guess technically I've been home for almost 3 months. So it's been over 3 months since we've spoken.
Holy moly!
Um, yeah, I don't have a proper internet connection at my house on my farm as of yet. I've been trying for almost 3 months. Hopefully shortly, I
Mm,
guess, and who knows what that will all mean. But I'm on what you would call a secret vacation. Um, Nobody really knows I'm here. I'm actually on Kikaker, which is one of the more common, famous, popular islands that people visit when they come to visit Belize. I've actually never been here before. I've never really been to the Keys. There's a private key that I've been to in years past, but I've never been to any of the popular keys that tourists go to.
right.
And I had a small window of opportunity, and so I kind of secretly ducked out of my farm and the village and came here. So actually, nobody even knows I'm here,
Ooh,
kind of deal. So yeah.
that's exciting.
So where do we even start? So like I said, I've been home for almost 3 months.
Mm,
Um, my place is such a paradise for me, as crazy as it sounds. I actually, like, literally within minutes of just leaning my bike against my house, I'd already forgotten I'd been on a bike ride for 2 years, kind of deal. And I don't know, I guess, like I said, it's a paradise for me there. It's perhaps maybe a combination of the fatigue of just being traveling for so long, like 2 years on the bike,
right.
6.5 years as a long haul truck driver. So I've actually been traveling for like over like 8.5 years.
Mm,
And the last 4 years, I've literally been actually homeless, kind of deal. And then Mexico is obviously amazing, awesome. I can't say enough about Mexico. It was as amazing, almost as biking across Canada was, but it was also very noisy. There were just lots and lots of people, lots and lots of traffic. And then I literally just arrived home, and it was just this paradise of wildlife and jungle and birds and monkeys, and it was really pretty much what I literally needed, as far as like what you'd say like my soul needed. I needed some peace and quiet. Um, the interesting thing is like I said, literally within seconds of or minutes of arriving home, I had basically completely forgotten I'd been on a bike ride, literally. Um, my plan actually initially was to just kind of take it easy, take it like slow down, and just kind of think about everything that had happened over the last 2 years, ponder, consider like future, kind of my future kind of deal.
right.
And that's not exactly what happened. Literally the next day, I went into like pure work mode, just going absolutely physical, like just crazy physically, like working on the farm.
Mm,
I was setting my alarm for 6:30 at first. Then I started setting my alarm for 5:30 a.m. Now,
ooh,
anyone that knows me knows that I don't even like to get up before 9 a.m. And I was actually setting my alarm for 5:30 a.m. to get literally every moment of daylight,
yeah.
because it actually gets dark. Well, at the time when I arrived, it was getting dark about 5:30ish.
Mm,
Now it gets dark maybe a little bit closer to 6ish, 6:30ish. Um, and so basically, I've been working for the most part, kind of like nonstop to pure physical exhaustion,
right.
um, all day, every day. In fact, actually, over Christmas, I actually kind of worked myself to literally being sick.
Mm,
I was sick for almost a week, and I think what it wasn't like COVID or anything like that. I had my sense of smell and taste and all that,
yeah.
but I think I was just literally working myself to physical exhaustion every day.
Mm,
Pretty much every morning when I'd wake up, I would actually be very sore,
right.
because I just, my body was just, I'm obviously getting a little bit older, but my body was not, I was working so hard that my body wasn't even recuperating fully and completely by the end of the next day or the next
Yeah.
morning, kind of deal. But at the same moment, like, partly it was like a high, it was like a drug, just being out there in nature, and just like, it was like this drive I couldn't control. I was just like, I just couldn't get enough of it. I mean, just like I said, just being out in nature, and just all these different bird species singing away, and monkeys howling, and coming across different tree frogs and insects and tarantulas and all that is just, for me, like, that's just literally what I live for. I come so alive. And so just being in all of that was just unbelievably amazing for me. And it was just driving me. And so literally, you know, at the end of the day, it was all I could do was just to have a shower, make supper, do the dishes, and go to bed right away, kind of deal. Just because just now, you know, by the time evening hit, it was just like, okay, when is daylight going to come again? Like, just get me out of here. So it's actually been kind of an interesting experience from that perspective. Thing is in regards to, you know, the bike ride situation a few months ago or prior, I think it was in September, I wrote a blog post about potentially the ride being in jeopardy as far as the future. And that had mostly to do with my place and just the upkeep and the maintenance. Because admittedly, I was getting frustrated with the cost of the monthly maintenance for my place. Right. And there was actually some tension growing between me and my property managers. And so basically what happened, you know, in relation to like the future of the ride, you know, I arrived home and it was pretty apparent that the amount of work required was just getting overwhelming for anyone and everyone. Like I said, I mean, I've been working like, it feels like 12 hours a day, every day since I arrived, just trying to get things back into order and this and that. And so it seemed pretty apparent that I wasn't going anywhere because of what was going to be required. So I took over all the 100% of the property maintenance of my property. There was no real, so basically with my property managers, things were pretty, or I guess I'll call them my ex-property managers, because I took over, you know, all the responsibilities. Things were pretty chill between us, kind of deal. So it was like, okay, all right. Because like I said, there was some tensions. Anyways, the husband actually went back to Canada kind of ahead of schedule, last minute. Like, he was planning to go to Canada, but because of COVID travel restrictions, that kept getting pushed further and further. Anyways, not to make this video about what it is, but just in regards to the future of potential my bike tour, and because I also had a plan to maybe bike tour, you know, throughout Belize, kind of deal, to kind of change that, make that adjustment kind of deal of instead of heading to Argentina, just do some bike touring in Belize. But anyways, he went to Canada and everything, this and that, and then it was about a week later, he sent an email about some final payment for maintenance. I inquired, why is it so much? Because what I was going to pay him for was, I had helped him with, and it only, you know, it was only a few hours or whatever. Anyways, he literally snapped in an email, talking about starting a war and this and that, and all of a sudden, all this drama just started. I guess, yeah, and so, I threatened a few more emails back and forth, like, hey, what's going on here? And then it was like, if I can send you to jail, I'm going to send you to jail. If I can get you to have fines. It was just like this chaos. And the thing is he's up in Canada behind his computer, all cozy in Canada. His wife is 74. She's now by herself. And so there's all this tension. And so there's actually quite a bit of drama, kind of deal. So basically, ultimately, what the situation is in a sense, I'm actually by myself with no support on my farm. Basically, the farm is split up in three ways, in a sense. There's me, there's my ex-property managers, and there's the son of the original Belizean owner of the farm. And the property's been split up, and just sort of getting context. I have about 42 acres. My property managers have 2 acres. And the Belizean son has like 16, 17 acres. And that adds up to around 60 acres. And that was the other thing. The Belizean son was actually stealing all my coconuts from my ponds while I've been on my bike ride, kind of deal. So with the drama of my ex-property managers, the Belizean that lives there also stealing my coconuts, and I'm at the end of this 2-mile end of the dead end dirt road. I actually have nobody I can trust. I have basically no one I can really count on. I have a guy in this, I have two guys in the village that have been helping me with some work around the house kind of deal. But basically, I'm not kidding. I'm actually on a secret vacation because I really can't let people know that my house is sitting empty right now. So I don't even know where that leaves me as far as like the potential bike touring through the rest of Belize
Right.
at this point, anyways.
Hmm.
Also, I realize I'm going pretty quickly here, but I'm trying to keep this video quick. I actually, even in regards to the bike ride that I actually had two kind of, I don't want to use it like kind of like physical conditions as a result of the bike ride that nothing serious, but these are things that kind of happened. One thing is a couple months ago, I'm going to refer to my notes trying to pronounce these things because I reached out, basically what I did is I reached out to a guy that was following me on my bike ride who has a little bit of a medical background. I forget exactly what his qualifications are, but I said, I'm experiencing these discomforts. You know, do you have any ideas what's going on? And so he was able to diagnose that I have this, I know I'm gonna butcher this up, paresthesia?
Hmm.
I know I butchered that, paresthesia.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I have a tingling sensation in basically these two fingers. And it was initially also in my arm where basically if I rub these fingers, I feel tingly kind of numbness. And I've had this since before Mexico, like before. So I've been here 3 months. I think I've probably had this tingling sensation for about 4 months. Now, originally it was in my arm and in this hand. Now it's basically just in these last two fingers now. And then the other thing I had, which is something I've had only since I've arrived in Belize, and I reached out to him again, and I have this, he believes I have this condition called Mortons Neuroma. I think that's how you pronounce it, Mortons Neuroma. And basically that affects the plantar's nerve in your feet. So in the morning, when I wake up and I'm walking on my wooden floor, it's really, I don't want to say it's painful. It's more of a discomfort that I feel in my feet. And he said he also suffered that while bike riding for about a year. And so I do have these weird, now, like I said, this tingling sensation, it's like whatever. It's, in a way, it's irrelevant, except obviously I don't want to agitate it more than it is or make it become more than it is. It has gotten it has, like I said, it was in my arm and in a good part of my hand. Now it's just in the last, just these two fingers kind of deal. So I do have a few physical issues that kind of followed me out of this bike ride kind of deal. What else? So anyways, I've been very, very busy. I had to rebuild our road. It's a phase one. Our road was a disaster. I basically had I had a bulldozer come in, scoop out all the mud, put in new sand, because basically the idea is in the next month or two when our dry hits, we've still had a fair amount of rain, is to put stone. But now the Belizean guy that lives at the end of the road, he's actually completely destroyed most of the work that I just had done. But I don't think it's irreplaceable or irreparable. We just have to get stone put on that road kind of deal.
Right.
What else have I done? I also had to separate my water line from my property manager. That was connected. I've done some house repairs. I've done a lot of work in my coconut field and around my ponds as far as getting that cleared up from all the bush and the jungle reclaiming. The other thing I've been working on, or that I'm working on right now, is I'm trying to get my business license properly set up. Actually, that's the one thing with the drama of dealing with my property managers. Right now, they're actually holding my business license hostage, but I have a lawyer that's kind of doing a workaround, and I think my property managers are realizing that creating this war with me has accomplished nothing but their own problems. And so I think I'm getting my business license back shortly. Trying to get my tourist license figured out, which is connected to my business license. Then I need to get my work permit. The other thing I'm working on is my residency, and that's the other one is with my residency, I actually can't leave Belize for an entire year kind of deal. I have to basically be in this country for a whole year. I can't go to Canada or leave. Belize kind of deal. What else is going on? I am spending an absolute fortune here, an absolute fortune. I need to get my internet hooked up. A friend from a long time ago who is living in Ecuador right now, he put me onto this company called Chambly or something. It's this English tutorial company where you literally get paid by the minute to just have video conversations with people all around the world talking English, and you get paid for it. It's not a great paying job, but I am spending an absolute fortune in this country, and so I need to do something to kind of bring some kind of income. I've been unemployed for over 2 years. What else? What else is going on? Also I did write a blog post that kind of goes into some more detail about this, kind of everything that's started been going on, my plans, what I've been doing. I had some things. I came here to kind of escape, and I've actually been literally in front of my computer for 2 days straight. And I've posted like 7 blog posts, 8, I guess, including this one, because I've had no internet, so I haven't been able to do any. I've been doing some writing for the blog post, but I haven't been able to post anything. That's the other thing is one of my plans was when I got here, it's like, okay, I wanted to start writing about certain things or whatever. And because I've been outside, all day, every day, and been focused on that, in a way, I've kind of like lost all motivation for writing. And it's kind of barely all I can do is just to keep up with, my daily notes kind of deal. And yeah, there's kind of a lot. Like, that's the thing is, I think today I'm actually not going to, for the moment, once we're done this, I'm actually going to close my computer and stay off my computer for the whole day, because I'm kind of a little bit mentally going a little bit, I don't want to say crazy by any means, but I've just been so busy. It's like, but I haven't had it. I really, in a way, I haven't had like 2 minutes to even think about anything, because I've just been so busy, which has caused either like physical exhaustion, and then drama, some mental exhaustion. And I was supposed to come here and relax, except I've basically been in my computer since I arrived, trying to get all blog posts posted that I've been behind on, kind of deal. Anyways, have I missed anything? I've been rambling like crazy.
No, I think the things I wanted to ask you covered, so.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's
oh,
kind
no,
of
actually,
like,
I got one thing.
so go ahead. Yeah.
Just 1 second. I need to close my door here because there's too much noise going on. I want to know your opinion on what's going on in your homeland right now.
Oh, dude, I can't. That's a loaded question.
Well, I see it online, and you have some good things to say. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay, so I don't want to get into this. Yeah, this is. I mean, yeah, okay. There's a protest for freedom that's going on from coast to coast in Canada. Yeah. It has reached. I mean, who knows how many countries by now with freedom protests.
I think it's over 20 now.
Wow, over 20. You know what I mean? And so there's basically 2 camps. There's the lovers and there's the haters. I don't know if I guess there's some people in the middle. The people in the middle basically don't say anything about anything, but there's basically the lovers and the haters. Okay, I am a supporter. I'm not going to deny being a supporter. I mean, I understand that restrictions were required in the beginning. I don't say that, and I don't support violence, and I don't support, the crap part of what's going on. I think that's so stupid that people have to constantly remind everyone else, like, we don't support the small handful of bad apples. But the problem is it's created so much division, and I realize that there's valid arguments on both sides, but it's not black and white. There's, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I mean, the reality is the mandates have been getting out of hand. I hadn't really been able to follow too much in the last year or so since leaving Canada. But the little bits that I was getting was kind of things were getting out of hand, like just getting worse and worse. And it's like, what is going on here kind of deal. And so it's no surprise that things blew up. And I think, people are saying, oh, nothing will be accomplished. And I think a ton has been accomplished without a doubt. an unbelievable ton has been accomplished. And I mean, I hope it ends soon, but you know what I mean? Like basically, as far as I know, this is like the world's largest peaceful protest. I mean, and for all intent and purposes, it has remained completely peaceful. I mean, if those protests had started in the US, do you know how many people would be dead by now, or anywhere else in the country? If like basically Canada has taken the lead,
Yeah.
and if this protest had taken place anywhere else in the world, there would be millions upon millions of dollars in damages, period. I'm not talking about the border being closed and X amount of $1 million crossing the border. I'm talking about damage as far as destroyed infrastructure. There would be millions and millions and millions of dollars in damages. Who knows how many people would have been killed in these other countries, including the US. But Canada took the lead. And I mean, I don't know, has anybody, like, I'm pretty sure, like, no one in Canada has died in the resulting of the protests kind of deal. But I haven't even heard reports of anywhere else in the world people dying as a result of, you said 20 other countries.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we, as Canadians, set the standard and led with the world's largest protest. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart. Peaceful protest. And it has stayed peaceful. And yes, has it inconvenienced people? Well, yes, it's called a protest.
Yeah.
That kind of is, you know what I mean? That's kind of a given.
Yeah.
But I think in the grand scheme of things, considering what the protest is for, whatever inconvenience, and I mean, look at me, I'm sitting in a hammock in Belize. You know what I mean? I'm not in Ottawa. I'm not hearing the horns honk. I'm not having a problem getting to work kind of deal. So very easy for me to say. That doesn't escape me.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of things, regarding the protests, regarding the mandates that, you know, have basically been in place recently, and the fact that the government is going to continue with more mandates. And that's the thing is I've been watching all these videos of the debate in the House of Parliament, and it's over and over and over. The Conservatives are asking Trudeau, what is the plan? What is the plan? And all he can say is get vaccinated. Get vaccinated. And it's like, no, please answer what is the plan forward? Get vaccinated. Well, I'm not an expert, and that's the thing is, I'm not an expert on any of this. But are we not one of the more vaccinated countries in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're one of the most so we're one of the most vaccinated countries in the world. The Conservatives are asking, what is the plan? What is, and all Trudeau can say, well, and then of course he hid. Like he just became the laughing stock leader of the entire free world. The laughing stock leader of the entire, not of most of the free world, of the entire free world. And so he finally comes out of hiding. The Conservatives are like, what's the plan? What's the plan? And all he can say is, you know, going on about the desecration of monuments. And I think a tweet from the Ottawa police said, of the tens of thousands of people that have been in Ottawa, tens of thousands, who knows, maybe 100,000 for all I know, they've charged four people with hate crimes. Four people. And that's what everyone, and that's what the haters are, they're talking about, the four people that, you know what I mean? Like I said, if this protest had been in any other country, there'd be millions of dollars in infrastructure damage, millions. I mean, just like the Black Lives Matter protests in the US. Yeah. You know what I mean? People would be dead in the streets. Instead, in Canada, they're singing, they're dancing, and they got bouncy castles going for their kids. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, really? Like, so everybody just chill. The haters, just chill. In a month, this is going to be over. I mean, it's crazy how many Facebook friends that I've never even met, like, just unfriended me. Yeah. Like, as if, oh, well, you know what I mean? But, like, really? Yeah. Really? So, I don't know, that kind of covered, I guess in a way that was a bit of a rant that I didn't want to. But no, it's good. It's called agree to disagree. Yeah. The reality is I actually, like, I don't want to say I don't care in a flippant way, but I don't care if you disagree in the sense, like, I'm not threatened. You
Yeah.
haven't hurt my feelings. I mean, the amount of people that are like, you're a bigot, you're a racist, I'm disappointed. And that's the other thing. People talk about bigotry and racism. This is a protest about freedom. This has nothing to do with race. Just because like 3 or 4 people, or maybe 1 or 2 people, who knows? It's the same photo that gets shared over and over that have a Nazi flag. Like, this is a protest about freedom.
Which is likely a plan.
If you were talking about racism during this protest, like maybe you need to just chill, go into a dark room and think about what it means to think critically, because this has nothing to do with race. And that's the thing, is if you want to wear a mask until the day you die, in fact, I'm pretty sure you can arrange to be buried with your mask on if that's what you choose. And no one's going to stop you.
Yeah.
So you can wear your mask into your grave. You can self-isolate for the rest of your life. No one is going to put you in jail if you choose to isolate for the rest of your life. Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay? No one is going to put you in jail if you choose never to travel. So, you know what I mean? And there's something. And if you want to get your 10th booster or your 20th booster, nobody is going to stop you. Nobody. Not a single person is going to, oh no, you can't get your 20th booster. So chill.
Just chill.
Chill.
I like it.
Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree.
That's the thing, simple. Right? We need to learn that skill again. People think we can't be friends if
you don't believe what I believe.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm not threatened. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? I mean, I'm just trying to, if I'm trying to convince you anything, just chill.
Yeah, just chill.
If I'm trying to convince you anything, is agree to disagree. I've actually had people, they kept arguing, and I'm like, I've been in what we'll call arguments with 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, I'm not trying to argue, because it's like, they just keep commenting. And I literally had to comment, please, I'm begging you. I am begging you. Please agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing is you're not going to, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you're not going to change my mind, and I'm not going to change your mind.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm chilling in a hammock right now, but I am too busy to argue with people that, and that's the thing, is I'm not saying that in judgment. In judgment, I mean, like, you're not going to change my mind. Do I care that separatists have started this? No. I mean, I watched the video of in Quebec. It was the interesting thing, right? Because that was the big argument. Oh, separatists started this. Well, separatists may have started this. I guess shame on Canadians that separatists had to start the movement, but the rest of Canada hijacked it from them, because it was about initially, the truckers going back and forth and not being vaccinated. And so that was what it started out as, but the rest of Canada hijacked it and made it about freedom. And I'm watching the videos and that's the thing is okay, so what if separatists started it? What do you, like, the most separatist group, like, I'm not a politician, I'm not going to pretend to understand politics, but if I'm not mistaken, the most separatist group in Canada is what they call the Quebecois, right? That's what they call them.
Yeah.
Right? There was a referendum, like, when I was much younger, about Quebec separating. That has never happened. So no one is separating from Canada, because even Quebec couldn't even do that. And then I was just watching, there was a video just the other week of people in Quebec, which is supposed to be like Quebec City, which I guess is one of the more separated cities in Canada as far as the rest of Canada. You know what they're all doing in Quebec City? Singing "Oh Canada." So it's the most separated city in Canada, and I don't know, maybe I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the most separated city in all of Canada, from my understanding, is Quebec City. And in Quebec City last week, they were singing "Oh Canada." So
what does that tell you?
Thank you very much, Trudeau. You've actually united the most separatist group in Canada.
Yeah.
So, like, Canadians hijacked this convoy and made it about freedom. Yeah. So who cares who started it? Like, who cares about most of it? Like,
right on. I like it. Yeah, I was curious because I knew you're a former truck driver.
Yeah, no,
and
I
Canadian.
6.5 years, and
Yeah.
I know it's, and you know what the thing is like I said, it's nice and well. Actually, it's been kind of. I'm actually in a hoodie for the last 2 days for the first time since I got here. It's actually today's not so bad. It was actually the last 2 days have been raining,
Right.
kind of deal. But I mean, I realize it sounds like it's been extremely cold in Canada. Extremely cold. It seems in
Actually,
the
not too
last
bad
couple.
today, but
Yeah, which all these Canadians out there singing "Oh Canada" in the frigid temperatures kind of
yeah,
deal. But yeah, no, things have been pretty comfortable here. But I mean, in all honesty, I I actually kind of wish I was if I could actually bike ride across Canada right now, I would be on a biking across Canada right now. I think this is probably the best time, literally. I mean, Canadian unity and Canadian pride at
yeah.
its highest. And then that's and the haters will say that it's all a big joke. Well, when you have tens of thousands of Canadian flags flying, when was the last time? When was the last time tens of thousands of Canadian flags were flying? And you
Yeah.
can deny it all you want. You just have to watch the thousands of videos, the thousands of photos.
Yeah.
But I mean, holy crap! When was I mean, I don't. I think if I mean, I'm not a hockey fan, but I think even if the Leafs won the Stanley Cup, no, there
Yeah.
wouldn't even be a fraction of that many people, in the
Excited.
streets kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's what I mean.
Well,
Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I biked across Canada, and I had
yeah.
the most generous people. And I mean, like as a Canadian to bike across Canada, to have the experiences that I had. I
Yeah.
mean, how much prouder can you be to be a Canadian? And I am a proud Canadian, but the
Yeah.
reality is since I've left Canada and just watching the news over and over again, basically it's like, wow,
Yeah.
if I never end up back in Canada in my lifetime, all the better.
Yeah.
Because like many people, and that's what one of the biggest arguments and frustrations have been, is like the lack of pride, the lack of unity, the lack of hope has been at its absolutely lowest, I'm going to say, in my lifetime. And I realize that's not the government's fault in the grand scheme of things. That's COVID
Right.
and the result of COVID and trying to deal with it.
Yeah.
But our unity, our pride, our hope has been at the lowest. And now it's like you have all these people that basically said they were at rock bottom, and now they've got hope. You know what I mean? So,
Oh yeah. And to give you some credit that you well deserve is that how I see your ride is like it's like you were preparing the way for Canadians, because it's like almost the same path across the Canadian map that they came the
okay.
opposite way to Ottawa. But it's like it's interesting to
Yeah.
see because you had tons of people following you, and it was like hope was people really liked what you did because it was hopeful, and you were bringing people together.
Yes.
So it's like as soon as your
Yes.
ride comes to a close, it kind of prepared a way. It's like the
Yeah.
John the Baptist for the truckers, just preparing the way.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going that far.
No, I'll go that far
But
though.
yeah, no, it's actually been really cool. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't want division with the people that disagree. Just agree to disagree. Like really,
That's right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not, and like I said, I'm not saying they don't have valid points, but there comes a point where it's just like, yeah, it's a valid point, but you know what? I'll stick with the side of freedom. You know what I mean? And
That's
that,
right,
that was the other thing is the one thing that really got me is I guess in Ottawa, they were talking about child services getting involved to take children away from the drivers that were parked. Child services to take your children away from you. I mean, if that is not the extreme, and that's the thing is I mean, that's what this government, that's how extreme this government has gotten, is they're willing to take, I mean, so if the children are at risk being in a tractor trailer, and I've lived in a tractor trailer for practically 6.5 years. So for those who don't know what it's like inside a tractor trailer, I've done it for 6.5 years. So give me a little bit of credit knowing, but to threaten to take children away that are in a tractor trailer, that is I mean, realizing it's a completely different, it would be a different environment, but it's what's the difference between taking children away while you're camping in a tent? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I realize it's two completely extremes, but a tractor trailer is I mean, I lived in a tractor trailer. Trust me, if there's children in a tractor trailer, they're very safe.
Yeah.
The concept of bringing children's services into that it's on the table to potentially take your children away during a peaceful protest where there's bouncy castles.
Yeah.
I mean, do you not see how extreme that is?
I
mean,
think a
you want
lot
to
of
talk
people
about
do, because I've just been personally seeing people that were against the truckers and the whole thing until they started seeing them do stuff like that, like take the gasoline from the truckers.
yes, taking the
Uh,
gas.
but it's waking people up because Canadians aren't stupid. They see injustice when they when it's convenient
Yeah,
for them. But
yeah, and I guess probably in my sense, one of my concern is because this is talking about more about people and society as a whole.
yeah,
We forget very quickly and we want instant gratification. And
yeah,
so the truckers have been the heroes over the last few weeks, but you know, I fear that in due time, in a matter of months, it will be forgotten
yeah,
kind of deal. It's no different like in 9/11. The police were heroes going into burning buildings, you know what I mean? And now look how the police are treated. And I have, you know what I mean? I have respect for the police. I mean, of course there's bad
oh yeah,
apples,
right,
but in the grand scheme of things, you know what I mean? They're good people. They were heroes during 9/11. They're heroes when they save your butt.
yeah,
But look how quickly society overall, defund the police. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Um, and so the reality is as a society, we have evolved into this society that wants instant gratification.
yeah,
So, it doesn't take long for the tide to turn from support to hatred. That's the thing is it literally goes from support to hatred.
yeah,
There is no middle ground.
yeah,
And so that's my fear, concern about the future, um,
yeah, exactly.
kind of deal.
Yeah, because
But
I mean, the truckers were the heroes since the beginning of the pandemic. They were the ones that stayed out on the road getting our
yeah,
food, and right, and then
yes, and
they're
yes,
the
and
enemies
and,
now.
and the thing, well, not yet, but I would hate for that when that changes, because that's the other thing is before this convoy, most drivers are not, like, most people don't really respect truck drivers. You just have to see that on the road as far as
Yeah,
being cut off and this and that, and the impatience of cars when as a truck can only go, like in Canada, you can only go 105 kilometers an hour max,
hmm.
and it takes so long to actually get up to that speed that people are so impatient.
Yeah,
Generally, as a rule, people don't like trucks,
hmm.
period, on the road. And so this was a chance where now all of a sudden they were the heroes.
Hmm.
I just hope people that don't forget that. Like
Right,
in 6 months, a year, 6 years,
yeah,
the truck driver is still a truck driver, and he's still doing that job that is filling your shelves,
hmm.
kind of deal. So that would suck if that's forgotten.
Yeah.
And I did I not say I did not even want to discuss this whole topic?
Hey, it's more content.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I was actually
Yeah.
very, very curious. I was been
Yeah,
anticipating
no,
your answer on that.
that's what happens when we don't have a quick discussion before the recording starts. So let's just
Yeah.
get into it so we're not repeating ourselves, kind
Well,
of deal.
one thing I need to know about Arie, he doesn't give like one sentence answers. It's always
Yeah,
he's got a story to
no,
tell, which is
yeah.
good.
And the thing is I do have political opinions, but usually I keep
Yeah.
them to myself because, like I said, most people don't really want to listen to each other, and it's almost impossible for anyone to convince anyone differently of things. And
Hmm.
so it's a pointless argument. So I usually try
Yeah.
to stay out of politics. But I think there's something that has to be said about, you know what, at some point you either stand for something or you stand for nothing.
That's right.
Now, yes, there are a lot of people that are standing against this, and so be it. But I have a feeling that when history writes this, as long as it's a proper history and not a forgotten
Yeah.
history and not a modified history, but if history records this properly, you know what I mean? This is
Yeah.
definitely the side that I want to be on in the grand scheme of things. Like I said,
Mhm.
there's very little that's black and white here. Most
Right.
of it's different shades of gray, and you know, um, I find that supporters are kind of like have this broad spectrum, but then it's the haters that they zone in on just this little point.
Yeah.
And then they zone on that little point, and then they zone, and it's like, guys, you realize there's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands across the world, literally, that
Yeah.
are involved in this. So you're going to get a spectrum of every group of
Yeah.
people. So please don't judge 2 people out of 10,000,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, most people, like, there's a lot of people out there that think I'm wrong. That's okay. I'm not
Yep.
threatened.
No,
I'm cool. I'm
it's all
cool if
good.
you can be cool. Yeah, it's all good.
Right
Just
on.
chill.
All right. We'll probably close this, let you get back
All
to
right.
your relaxing so you can unwind but we
Yeah.
appreciate the update. I'm sure everybody's been curious as what's going on with Arie. So
Yeah, it's been interesting. Oh, the other thing is, mind you, who the heck is actually still watching at this point? Could really use some guests or a roommate. That would go a long way
Oh, yeah.
financially. This country is very expensive, believe
Yeah.
it or not. Well, I shouldn't have said that. I just probably turned off a lot of people. But no, to live here for a long period of time, it's not a cheap country kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I live in a jungle paradise. So you definitely wouldn't regret visiting. And I'll only talk politics if you want to talk politics. And if you don't, all the better, because then I won't, all the better. But yeah, I could definitely use some guests or whatever. And of course, subscribe. Not really sure what the future for everything is going to hold. Like I said, even from the writing perspective, I've been very unmotivated, which is actually kind of irked me a little bit, because it's like I had all these plans to write, and now I have like zero motivation. I have zero energy for that. Sometimes I actually think I'm living a pipe dream. I just sort of see all this like crumbling, disappearing tomorrow, kind of deal. I have, in a sense, I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing, but I just get up every morning and I just work, and I guess I'm just hoping, praying that one day all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, okay, so this is what's going to go, this is what's going to happen, or but I don't really know.
Awesome.
So,
all righty. Well, you take care, sir.
Yep.
Stay well. Stay safe.
Yeah. Hopefully we can do this again soon.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Take care.
Later.
Buddy.
Bye.